You're listening to the Matt Lehner podcast. Before we get started, make sure you're subscribed on iTunes so that you can catch every new episode as they get dropped to your feed. While you're at it, make sure you leave your comment to this podcast below so that I can tailor my messages to your requests. And with that, let's get started. You must be the person before you can become the person. You gotta have that mindset of working on your game like your life depends on it, because it does. Your mindset, your perspective, the way you approach setbacks will determine how far you get in this game.
Nah, you good. Good move, boy! Hey, that boy got NBA moves.
Welcome to the Matt Lehner podcast. Today we're going to be talking about being before becoming. As I mentioned in the intro to this podcast, you must be the person before you can become the person. Now, this is a very in-depth psychological discussion, and to a lot of people on the surface, it doesn't really make much sense. So that's why I want to get into it today, because you hear it every day to this podcast in the intro, and this is probably the fundamental aspect to becoming the person you want to be. And for those listening to this podcast, that is probably becoming a better basketball player and reaching the next level in basketball. And this is going to be the most important thing if you're going to make this happen. So, being before becoming. This means that you must be the person that it will take to reach that next level before you can actually get to that level. So this is a process of personal development. This means, first off, that you must have a vision of the person that you're becoming. You must have an actual image in your mind of the type of player and the type of person that you're going to become. And that's a key word, going to become. You are already this person in some time and space. The only thing that's stopping you from getting there is time. So in the meantime, you're taking actions every day to become that person in the future. But you are already that person right now. It's just a matter of time before you get there. This also comes down to your habits. Everything we do is a function of habits, and you need to make sure that the habits you have are taking you to that point and not stopping you from getting there. So you might have habits right now, but they might not be appropriate habits to your goals and to your actual vision that we talked about earlier. So you need to adopt positive habits. But ultimately, this comes down to changing your thinking. You must change the way you think and become a new and a better person every day in order to become the person that you're going to be in the future. So how do we do this? Well, like I said, you have to change the way you think. This means thinking positively over negatively. You must be striving to think as positive as possible every single day in every single situation. Like we talk about, there's always a positive in any situation that you face. And finding the silver lining in any setback is the key to achieving your goals. The next point is the law of association. You need to make sure that the people you're spending time with every single day are people that are positive people, people that are encouraging you, people that are helping you grow, finding mentors, finding just positive people. You don't want to be around people that are talking down on you, people that are engaged in things that are not conducive to your goals. If you're spending time around these people, they are not helping you. They're helping you develop negative mind patterns and negative habits that are not helping you reach your goals. So if you have these people in your life, you need to either A, kick them out of your life, or spend the least amount of time around them as possible. Make sure that you're strong enough mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that they won't have an impact on you if you are forced to spend time around them. For example, if they're families, if they're co-workers, you're obviously going to have to be around them to some extent, so make sure that you're strong enough to deflect any sort of negative thoughts or actions that they will project towards you. And everything in your life matters. This is a key mindset that you must adopt. that everything you're doing in your life will affect the other areas of your life. So if you're a basketball player, it's not just what you do on the court, it's what you do off the court. Coaches will tell you this, and when we're younger, we don't really take it seriously. We're like, yeah, whatever. But it's true. And the older you get, the higher levels of basketball you reach, the more you understand this. You can use this to your advantage. Like we talk about, this can be something that hurts your game or it can take your game to the next level. The way you approach people, the way you approach situations, just building up your life in every area, having balance in your life. If you're focused on improving in every area of your life, building up your relationships, building up your financial stability, just building up every area of your life, this will have a great impact on your game, probably more so than the actual skills that you're building in your game. Now, don't get me wrong, you need to be in the gym, you need to be in the weight room, but working on your personal life is probably the most important factor in having stability on the court. And constant growth. You need to be growing every day in every area of your life and in every area of your game. And this comes down to, most importantly, being the person before becoming the person comes down to people skills. How you manage people and how you manage situations dealing with people. This is a topic that we'll probably get more into in future podcasts, people skills. But realizing how you deal with people, networking, how you deal with teammates, coaches, fans, family, friends, this is going to have a tremendous impact on how you become the person that will reach your goals. So you need to start developing positive people skills, if you want to reach higher levels of performance and higher levels in life. So I hope that helped break down the concept of being before becoming. Again, this will probably be something that we delve more into in future podcasts. We'll delve more into these individual topics more so in podcasts, but this was just a brief overall conceptual podcast of what it means when I say being before becoming. Again, it's a process of who you are becoming as a person, personal development. If you just type in personal development in Google, you'll probably find a bunch of different things that pop up, and a lot of it will be, books, seminars, videos, just developing yourself as a person, developing your people skills, developing your mindset. Those are the things that are going to help you reach higher levels of performance in basketball or any other area of life. So again, if you have any comments to this podcast, make sure you leave them below. Make sure you are subscribed on YouTube and iTunes. And again, I'll talk to you again on the next episode.